We'll give you the basics. We'll teach you how to think. We'll teach you how to direct your thought. We will alert you to what your emotions are. We will help you be aware of them. We will give you endless processes to help you to come into vibrational alignment with them. And we will revel in your self-discovery of yourself. Because that's really what this is all about. You are the creator of you. You are the discoverer of you. And you're all here, not just those of you who are here, but you are here as a global consciousness, as this human species interacting with all the other species, here for the pleasure and privilege of your individual expansion. Not here to save a world that doesn't need to be saved, and not here to uplift others who may need to be uplifted. Here to do the natural thing of being exposed to life and expanding, and then to keep up with your natural evolution of self for the purpose of never-ending expanding joy. You didn't come to fix a broken world. It isn't broken. And you didn't come to save something that needs to be saved, because nothing needs to be saved. You came to figure out what you would prefer and to come into alignment with that which you prefer, for the revelation and the jubilation of the experience of catching up with that. You are following? It happens to you so often, but when it begins to happen to you deliberately, when you find something that you would like to use as your focal point, and you bring it into focus, and you recognize that you're sometimes on it and not often not on it, but now you set out to approach it in a way that you can more often than not be a vibrational match to it. And then you watch those manifestations coming round to give you the evidence of it. You will restore yourself to the natural worthiness that you were born with. You will know the rightness of who you are, and you will feel the presence of the energy that creates worlds backing you up on every endeavor that you approach. And before you know it, you will begin to remember that you didn't come forth to try to make a big splash that everyone out there would look at and notice and revel in. You came forth to splash yourself into a new place and to enjoy the success of coming into alignment with that. So much that you've heard in the form of conversations and sound bites, little pieces of things that you've picked up and repeated from generation to generation, would begin to make sense to you from inside the vortex. So here we stand, privileged and happy, inside the vortex, where all of that which you have become resides, where we have full view of it. And here you stand, sometimes right there, knowing it as clearly as we do, and sometimes not knowing it as clearly as we do, getting to experience the segment by segment unfolding of that becoming. And we want to remind you that you didn't come to rush yourself there to claim all the treasures and prizes and desires that you had set forth. You came for the fun of molding it into place, for the fun of the incremental pleasures. And what we are eager about you discovering is the deliciousness of those incremental pleasures. We want you to leave this gathering at the end of this week knowing as clearly as we do that those individual pleasures are what make up the deliciousness of your life. When you are living in a manifested world as you are, you get to see, isn't this a beautiful place? Have you looked around? Have you looked around at the engineering and the architecture and the care of this beautiful vessel? When you are in this manifested world and you are using your physical senses to interpret the vibration that surrounds you, there is so much for you to see and hear and smell and taste and touch. We know how compelling that is. The vividness of this leading edge time-space reality makes it feel realer and more important. We want to help you to remember that while it's real and tangible, and while using your physical senses you agree about so much of it, it's not the main event. The main event is the vortex. And the main life is the distance you travel between what is and the vortex. that the adventure is in that excursion, that the adventure is in that journey, that the fun is in the moving on, that the adventure is in the yet becoming. And while it is delicious to behold what is, sometimes it is not so delicious to behold what is. And when you're fixated upon the what is, and you come to, as generation after generation, to believe that this is reality and that we have to face it, we say, you did not come to face reality. You came to create reality. And this reality that so many are facing is but the bouncing off place for a reality, for this vortex reality, for this vibrational reality that is really who you are. And we want to convince you that the larger part of you lives in this vibrational reality, and that you got to get up to speed with that vibrational reality if you are to live the life you intended to live, and more important, feel the way you intended to feel. In other words, you just can't walk around in what is very long without beginning to complain about what is, and without feeling bored about what is. There's not enough in what is. What is great. We showed it to you, it's over. In other words, look up, see it once, now it's no big deal. A little cheesy anyway. But the real treasure is in this vortex, but the real joy is in the journey to it. And this is the thing, so often it feels like, oh, just fast forward me there. Just get me through whatever I'm living, and just get me to this end result that I seek. And we say, really? Really? You just want to go to another what is? We want you to get on this eternal path of enjoying this journey. When you go on a vacation, we promise you. So you're home and you're going to go here and 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 here. And then you're going to go back home again and you say, oh, wait, I'm already home. I'm going to do all that and then spend all that money and then just come back home. Why go? Why go? I'm just going to cross vacation off my list because I've already come to the end result of my vacation. And we say, you don't go on a vacation to get it done, do you? You go for the potential exposure, for the potential adventure, for the potential exhilaration. You go for the expansion and exposure. You go for the stretching. You go for the moreness of it, you see. And so that's the way it is in everything. It's the moreness of life that is important for you to acknowledge. The other night, Jerry and Esther were watching television, and it was an interview with Barry Manilow, and they've enjoyed him. It was the first concert they went to together 30 years ago when they were living in Tucson. So they're listening to him, and he's playing his music, and the longer he played, the worse Esther felt. She said, if we don't turn this off, I'm going to have to go someplace else because I'm not feeling so good as we're watching this. And so they changed the channel. Esther focused differently and got to feeling better. And then later that night, she was chatting with us on the computer about things and wanted to know about what was that? What was that? And we said, was looking in the wrong direction. Was looking back at songs he'd written and sung, back at the way he and all of you used to look. To those younger, thinner days. Looking back, but most important, it wasn't just the looking backness of it, it was the absence of the looking forwardness of it. In other words, it's looking in the wrong direction. Your vortex and who you are is that away, not that away. It's your future that you are wanting to look to, but even more important, it's the attaining of the vibrational becoming that has already happened, that looking back never yields you. That's what melancholy is. That's what homesickness is. It's looking in the wrong direction. It's longing for things that you used to live when what you're really longing for is alignment with that which you are yet to become. You are following? The newness is always where it's at. There is so much more. You are living magnificent lives and you are beautiful beings and there is so much that is before you. But we want you to feel not so much the beforeness of it and the yet to be unfoldedness of it. That's what makes you long for those days when stuff you wanted seemed to have already unfolded. It's that you're not ever going to be able to become completely all that you are. So you might as well give up the wanting to get to the end result of things and just begin to enjoy the journey. It's so fun to relax and let yourself be the frisky being that you are. So, while we stand in your vortex and we can see clearly because we have clear sight, because there's no resistance within that which is us, we can see the path of least resistance that is unfolding for each and every one of you relative to every subject that is important to you. In other words, anything that you want, we see clearly a path, many paths in many cases, of least resistance that are going to unfold in order to give you the end result that you want. But you know what? You don't know that we know. Maybe we shouldn't tell you. We want to tell you. We think we will tell you. What we know that you don't know is that along this path, it is not the end result you're reaching for. It is the path. It's the path. It's the path you're looking for. It's not the end result. And that's hard to hear, isn't it? No, Abraham, I'm sure it's the money I want. I'm sure it's the money, it's the girl. It's the money, it's the girl, it's the body. I'm sure it's the event. I'm sure it's the creation. I'm sure it's the manifestation that I want. And we say, yeah, all that's coming. All that's coming. There are plenty of really pleasing, incredible manifestations that will make you happy for the afternoon. Yes, they're coming. Those are coming. But what's really coming is your relaxed understanding of the perfection of your being. Your relaxed understanding, relaxed meaning non-resistant, understanding of the power of your being, of the power that you have to stand in your now and be happy right now, regardless of what is. Because what is only the bouncing off place. It was only the starting out point for the current journey, for the current vacation, for the current unfolding that you are all up on. So, we are eager to visit with you about anything. Let's get moving. You're ready for us. We're going to have a very good time together today. Begin right here. Third row? Yes. The hot seat is taped to the floor, but we wouldn't really trust that. Sit gently.